Hello dear students, I am Teacher Kathleen, your English teacher for today. Welcome to our English class and I hope you're ready for new learnings as we discuss our lesson entitled MAKATO and the COWRIE Shell, a Thai Folktale. Are you ready? But before we proceed to our lesson proper, let us first define what Thai folktale is. Thai folklore. It is a diverse set of mythology and traditional beliefs held by the Thai people. Most Thai folklore has a regional background, for it originated in rural Thailand. With the passing of time and through the influence of the media, large parts of Thai folklore have become interwoven with the wider popular Thai culture. Now we are in quarter 3, week 4, and our most essential learning competency is analyze literature as a mirror to our shared heritage of people with diverse backgrounds. Okay, now let us do learning task 2 before we proceed with the reading of the text. Match the word in column A to its meaning in column B. Write your answer on the space provided before the number. In column A, we have number 1, orphan. Number 2, idle. Number 3, mahut. Number 4, prosperous. Number 5, fortune. So here are the choices in column B. A. Successful. B. The chance and the way it affects your life. C. A child whose parents are dead. Letter D. A person who cares for a working elephant. And letter E. Not working. MAKATO and the COWRIE Shell, a Thai folktale by Supani Kanchannath, Tahiti. Once upon a time, there was a boy whose name was MAKATO. He was an orphan, for his father and mother died when he was very young. He had no brothers, sisters, cousins, or friends to take care of him, so he had to make a living for himself. He did every kind of work, carrying heavy things, clearing away the forest, or feeding pigs. He never idled. Although he was paid only small wages, he was satisfied. He knew that if he would not work, he would starve. Wherever he went, his employers praised him for being sensible, hardworking, good-tempered, and cheerful. One fine evening, after he had finished chopping up a big pile of wood, he sat down to rest and thought of all he would like to do in the future. He wanted to try his luck in far-off strange lands, for he longed for exciting adventures. "What are you thinking about so deeply, my boy?" asked his employer. "I would like to go on a journey for adventure," said MAKATO, pointing to the northeast. "I heard that the land is fertile and the people are kind. I wish I could see the land for myself." His eyes sparkled with the excitement. "The land you wish to go to is called Sukhothai," said his employer. "They say Praruwang of Sukhothai is a very kind-hearted king. You might be lucky if you could go there." Sometime later, MAKATO decided to try his fortune. He left his village and set out in the wide world. He walked along cheerfully, enjoying new sights and talking to the people he met on the way. After a month's journey, he reached a village on the boundary of the kingdom of Sukhothai. "Please, can I have some water to drink?" MAKATO asked a woman with a big water pot on her head. "I am so thirsty. Where did you come from? Why are you here alone? You look as if you've come a long way," said the old woman, pouring cold water from her pot into a small cup and handing it to MAKATO. "Thank you so much," said the boy. "Who are your father and mother? Haven't you any family?" The old woman asked again. "I come from the city of Mon over there," replied MAKATO. "Good heavens! Have you really come from Mon? How is it that you're traveling alone, such a young boy as you are?" "I wanted to see Praruwang of Sukhothai," replied MAKATO. "They say he is a very kind-hearted king." "You are a very determined boy," said the woman. "Come along with me. Who knows, you might see Praruwang someday." MAKATO was glad to go with her. If he could work with this kind of woman, he would have a place to sleep, some food to eat, and perhaps someday he might be lucky enough to see the king. The old woman was one of the Purarulang Mahots, which meant that she helped the Mahot find the food for the elephant and clean out the elephant's sheds. He worked hard and well, and the Mahout and his wife grew fond of him. One day, the sky was clear and the weather was so fine. It seemed to Makato that it must be a lucky day. As he worked in the elephant sheds, a tall young man in a splendid costume followed by attendants came in. It was Paruwang himself. Makato bowed low at once with his hands clasped together before him. His heart beat fast. Where did the boy come from? The king asked the Mahout, who was attending him. How old is he? The king asked further. 12 years old, your majesty, replied the Mahout. A good-looking and hard-working boy, said the king. Take good care of him. As the king walked away, Makato saw a little cowrie lying on the ground. He ran to pick up and held it to the king. But the king said with a smile, you may keep it. How wonderful. Makato thought, the king has given me a cowrie shell. At that time, the people of Sokhota used cowrie shells as money. Although one cowrie had a little value, Makato wanted to make as much use of it as possible, for it was the king's gift. For a long time, he could not think of a way to use it so that it would earn money for him. One day, he passed by a stall in the market where the seeds of many different plants were sold. He looked along the stall and caught sight of a basket full of lettuce seed. Lettuces! He could grow small plants like that. He asked the joyful woman at the stall, can I buy some lettuce seed? Oh yes, my boy. How much do you want? Said the old woman. I have one cowrie shell, said Makato. One cowrie shell? Said the woman laughing. That won't buy anything. I can't even measure that much. Look, said Makato eagerly. I will dip my finger into the pile of seeds. Then I will take the seeds that stick to it. That must be right for one cowrie shell. Well, why not? Said the amused woman at his suggestions. All right, boy, help yourself. Makato paid the woman his one cowrie shell. Then he dipped his finger into the pile of seeds. When he pulled his wet finger out, it was covered with seeds. He carefully scraped them of his finger into the palm of his hand and went away, happily clutching the seeds. Now that he had seeds, Makato broke the soil and sowed them at once. He watered the seed bed every day and soon the young plants appeared. Day by day, he cleared more ground and planted more lettuce seedlings until the kitchen garden was covered with them. He was very proud of himself because he had done so well. I wish I could give the king some lettuces, he thought. One day, the king passed by the elephant sheds again. Makato waited for an opportunity, then knelt down and proudly presented his biggest lettuces to the king. Where did you get this? The king asked, surprised. I grew them from the cowrie shell you gave me, your majesty, answered Makato, beaming with a smile. How could you do that? Asked the puzzled king. Makato told the king the whole story. The king was impressed with his intelligence and industry, so much so that later on, he gave Makato a job in the palace. As the years passed, Makato grew tall and handsome. He mastered every grace and served the king well. He was so loyal that the king trusted him absolutely. He was promoted to higher positions until he was given the title of Kunwang, which meant that he was the most important person in the king's court. He was also happily married to the beautiful young daughter of the king. After that, the king made him the ruler of the Mon. So it was that Makato, who had once been a poor orphan, became the king of that prosperous kingdom. As a moral lesson in the story, all of us have dreams in life, and of course, we want to succeed in the end. That's why we are doing our best to achieve what we want. No matter how hard the challenges are, We make ways to courageously face them because in the end, we believe that we will achieve the fruit of our labor, which is success. This success will bring us happiness as long as we know to ourselves that we got it in an honest and legal way wherein we do not hurt and affect other people. This time, let's deepen our understanding of the lesson by answering the following questions. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. In a plot of a story, the logical arrangement of events is presented. It has 5 essential parts except A. Denouement, B. Exposition, C. Atmosphere, D. Climax. Number 2. Setting is one of the elements of a short story. It refers to the time and location in which a story takes place. It may be the following except A. Mood, B. Climax, C. Atmosphere, D. Social condition. Number 3. Which of the following is considered one element of a short story? A. Character, B. Denouement, C. Exposition, D. Climax. Number 4. What element of the story shows the logical arrangement of events with a beginning, middle, and end? A. Exposition, B. Character, C. Plot, D. Conflict. Number 5. Which is synonymous to mood or atmosphere in the story? A. Climax, B. Denouement, C. Setting, D. Character. Lastly, the point of view is defined as the angle from which a story is told except A. First person, B. Innocent eye, C. Omniscient, D. Static. So that ends our lesson today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the best MNHS English TV. See you next time as we learn another English lesson. Bye-bye!